Hi, I saw your ad for house sitting. I was wondering if the spot's still open. Oh, no. Hi, is the house sitting job still available? Hi, I was wondering if you still need a house sitter. Really? I'm 19.
Ooh.
Mmm. Hello?
Hello?
Oh yeah, this is Julianna. Yeah, the house is great. I'm just watching a movie right now. Okay, yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
A wanted hacker known as Hacksboy has recently been compromised. He has reportedly been found to be living in the sewers of Los Angeles. According to our sources, the police are on their way to arrest this hacker, and he could receive up to 30 years in jail.
And now you're going to die. Now you're going to die.
FBI, open up!
What is identity theft? Identity theft is when someone's private data is stolen by another person, such as to use the target's bank accounts and services, according to USA.gov. But identity theft doesn't just happen to adults, it can happen to teenagers too. I decided to interview an expert to learn more about identity theft in teens. How can teens prevent identity theft from happening to them?
There's really a few things, a few preventative measures that can help, and it all starts with not sharing your personal information. Now, your personal information, that could be your social security number, that could be your login, usernames and passwords, so really those login credentials that you use for all the accounts that you may have. Your driver's license information, really any information that would be considered sensitive. Sensitive personal information is something that you don't want to share. So that's number one. Number two, ask a parent or guardian to obtain a security freeze on your credit report. And this is important because a lot of times identity criminals will target the credit of a teen or a minor because that's credit that may go unused until they are an adult. So they could that could be one area to watch out for. And the third preventative measure, and this is really universal across identity theft of all ages, enable multi-factor authentication on all your accounts. This is important because it just adds an extra layer of security on all your accounts, and it's just one extra thing that the identity criminals have to get through to get through those accounts. So that added layer of security is something that's really important.
Where does teen identity theft happen the most?
And the most common places that we see scammers here at the Identity Theft Resource Center and identity thieves try and get information is through social media and through gaming platforms and apps. So really, the spots that you're going to find teens on the most, those are going to be the most common places where scammers and identity do try to get that information.
Why do people target teens in the first place?
Teens are too young to have established credit for themselves, so their information is easier without getting caught, which is what we mentioned there when we talked about security freezes on the credit report. It typically isn't until a teen is ready to start applying for their first apartment, for a car, student loans, really anything like that. It isn't until they start applying for it until they find out that they're a victim of identity.
So, as teens, we experience identity theft, so it is important for us to contact local police when this happens to us. I contacted Chief Tim Matos of the Rohnert Park Public Safety Department to find out why.
One, we need to investigate this. Generally, this will be sent to my investigations unit, and they'll try to figure out who is responsible for this. It does two things. One, it can help you in the future, because if you're a victim of an identity theft, it is going to cause you issues in the future, trying to get credit, trying to buy a new car. Two, it helps us prevent this from happening to anybody else. It gets the people on our radar. So we encourage you to call us if you have been or you believe you've been a victim of identity theft. This happens more than you think. Not always as a juvenile will you understand that you're a victim, but as you become an adult later, you try to buy your first car, try to get credit, that's when you'll realize it. So my advice to you is be very careful about what you put out on the internet, how much information you put out there. It doesn't take much for a criminal to use your information that's out there against you and become you. Oftentimes you won't know until later, but if you do realize it or you find out you may be a victim, please contact your local police department so they can get ahead of it and try to help you out. Any other questions, feel free to contact us or contact your local police department to figure out what they expect from you if you're the victim of identity theft. Be careful, be safe. Thank you.
In conclusion, identity theft is a problem with both adults and teens, and it is important for us to protect ourselves by securing our data and keeping our personal information private.
Hey, watch where you're going!
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm with the city police. We have reports of a blonde female wearing a white shirt, black pants, and carrying a gray bag fleeing the scene of a bank robbery. Would you happen to know where that person might be?
Yes, I saw someone that sounded just like that down by the bank.
That way?
Yes.
Thanks, ma'am. I'll be back to get your witness information. Stop. Did you come from the bank?
Yeah?
You're under arrest.
I didn't do anything. It wasn't me.
Put your hands behind your back. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney and a court order.
Suspect is in custody.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Department 12 is now in session. Perfina Mitchell presiding. Please be seated and come to order.
Defendant Ella is on trial for bank robbery. Counsel, state your names for the record.
Good morning, Your Honor. Joseph Bisbilia for the prosecution.
Jeff Mitchell for the defense, representing Ella.
Prosecutor, please call your first witness.
Thank you. Prosecution calls Emma. Please point to the person you saw flee the bank with the bag of money.
It was her.
The defense has no questions at this time.
I didn't do anything. She's mistaken. Tell them.
Prosecutor, please call your next witness.
Your Honor, we call Ms. India as our next witness. Is this the person you saw flee the bank with the bag of money and bump into you?
Let me see. Yes, I think so. Yes, that's her. That is the person they asked me to identify in the back of the police car. Yes.
Miss India, you seem a little confused. Are you identifying Ella because you saw her run from the bank? Or are you just identifying her because you saw her sitting in the back of a police car?
Objection. Argumentative. Badgering the witness.
Overruled.
Your Honor, I have no further questions.
We rest our case, Your Honor.
Defense, please call your first witness.
We call Ella. Miss Ella, what were you doing near the bank that morning?
I was just there to drop off a deposit.
Ella, did you rob the bank that morning?
I didn't. I'm innocent. I've already told everyone I didn't do it.
Prosecution has no DNA or any other physical evidence. All they have is the testimony of two unreliable eyewitnesses. This case should be thrown out.
Who needs DNA evidence when we have two eyewitnesses that clearly identify defendant Ella as the bank robber? We've met our burden here of proof beyond a reasonable doubt.
Thank you, counsel. I'll make my final ruling in a moment, but from what I've heard, I'm inclined to find defendant Ella guilty.
But Your Honor, I'm innocent.
Please turn around and put your hands behind your back. Go out this door here.